Hey guys, what's up and welcome to the channel. I'm the Shotgun Shogun and this is the Training Grounds. And today we're going to be killing Executioner Karakanis. Now we are going to be using the free-to-play setup that I used in my normal raid mode, as well as the Devour Arhakan setup. So we will be going in, we will be clearing from the very entrance because we're going to be under the assumption that you did not already do this, or you probably wouldn't be watching this video. So let's get into this. If you are looking for the gear, I will remember to put it in at the end this time around. But as you can remember, if you watched the previous video, we cleared the left-hand side and cleared a little bit into the right hand side. Now we are going to go all the way to Karakanis over here, and we are going to backtrack to hit a few of the mini bosses. Now unfortunately, with this setup at the very onset, you will not be able to get all of the mini bosses, or at least I believe you won't be able to. We'll find out how many we get, but after you have cleared him the first time, you will be able to teleport in behind him, making it much easier. Now, one of the downsides is we only have one AoE unit, but much like the previous time that we killed him in the normal mode, we will just have to make sure that we hold on to that for the right moment. So I will get back as soon as we get over there. So before you go into this fight, you are going to want to make sure that your morale is maxed out, because this is going to be a very high gear check fight. It's not very much different than the previous version in normal mode, but you are going to be taking a lot more damage, and you are going to have to manage a lot more HP on the enemy, as well as other things. So you are going to want to make sure that your souls are maxed out. You're going to want to make sure that your cooldowns are all off and that your morale is maxed, or at least as high as possible, which if you're running this, you should be able to get up to 54. And that's because you really want to have that increased 10% health. This is going to be very important, as this fight is going to, like I said, be a very big gear check. So as we come in, you can see that typically most of this is all the exact same. You are going to have the 70% stealth and extra turn. You are going to have the inner piece that's going to allow for counterattacks, as well as everything else. This fight is very, very straightforward as compared to the previous fight. You are going to want to make sure that you are saving the Ross S3, however, for that AoE after he goes to stealth. After you get him down past 40%, you don't have to worry about stealth anymore. Then you can use it as you see fit. But until that point, definitely keep this, as it is going to be the only AoE that you have, and very, very clutch.
I hope you're ready.
Now, this is going to be one of your bigger problems in this fight, right? Because you are going to get stripped and you're going to get debuffed by these front two enemies, meaning that this is going to really hinder your overall DPS, especially if, let's say, your Alexa gets hit. This is going to be very, very big. In this situation, you are going to want to make sure that you're just hitting these front two enemies in order to get rid of that. Now, one of the things that you're going to want to make sure that you're doing here, because Ross isn't as important, you don't have to make sure that you keep immunity up on him at all times. Now, during stealth, you are going to want to make sure that you use him, and if he does get counterattacked, he should have the bulk needed in order to maintain that. So you are going to want to hold on to your S2 and your S3 to prevent any sort of debuffs coming in on your DPSers, any sort of defense breaks, anything along those lines. So in this situation right here, you're not actually going to want to S2 or S3, right? You're also going to want to save your S3 to Soulburn S3 right before the two minions get their opportunity to use their ultimate move.
Protect you.
So as you can see, 2 turns in a row, Alexa is not going to get to do much here, right? Because you have the debuff on here. The other thing too that you're going to want to take a note of is that Executioner Karakanis is almost in that 40% range. Now, one thing of note is that if you do push him further, he's going to get an extra turn, he's going to attack, and he's going to go into stealth. Now, you will want to have that Ross S3 up. However, in the state that Ross is in right this second, if we were to S3, we would get counterattacked. He is also defense broken, and while we would get the defense buff and a little bit of hit points back, I think that we would be in a very, very bad spot. So not hitting him with the Commander Arena or the Alexa is going to be key here.
Should we get started? Yeah.
Now, when I told you to save the S3 for the Soulburn, this is where I meant to use it. Now, if you notice, the front two minions have their S3s up, and that is an AoE debuff, right, for everybody. So what you're going to want to do at this point is you're going to want to Soulburn S3 the Amomo. This is going to get debuff up immunity on to everyone. This is also good because this allows you at this moment to come through and try to burn the Karakanis down past 70%. So if we do this, we didn't hit it unfortunately, but what we'll do is we will Ross S2 into this, so that way we will cycle back around, or at least we should anyways, before he gets another turn after we get the stealth here. So he should attack and then he's going to stealth. Ross is going to get his turn before Karakanis does. The also nice thing here is that the front two minions are going to do the AoE, which is not going to strip Ross of that debuff immunity. So we will have a debuff free S3 from Ross to break the Executioner Karakanis out of his stealth.
All right, let's do this. Purifying flame. Burn away the evil. Need help?
そこらの兵とは違います。だって指揮官ですから。見てなさい、敵士たち。貫け！負けません。参ります。
Should we get started? Yeah!
相手をしてあげましょう。正義なる剣よ。
If I must fight. Yeah.
私も手伝います。もう大丈夫です。盾騎士団に交代はありません。やう。
I'll protect you. I hope you're ready.
士気を上げて。盾騎士団なのにやり。何か文句でも。頑張ります。
So at this point, even though we already have two debuff immunities up on the team, you are still going to want to Soulburn that S3 from Amomo because we have the two front units that are going to come through and hit that debuff area wide. And we don't want our Alexa to end up getting hit with that. Not only that, but at this point, you are going to be topping pretty much everybody off.
私が和らげてあげましょう。負けません。参ります。 私の出番ですか？
At this point, because you're probably not going to be making another cycle and requiring the soul burn, you can Archie here in order to push very fast to get this finished out. Because don't forget, he is going to be stacking damage as well. So you are going to be taking quite a bit here, as well as the follow-up, right? That almost kills our Alexa right there. Now, as I said, because you don't need to worry about stealth anymore, you can use the Ross S3 at your leisure to get the debuff or the defense buff up. Now, at this point too, like I said, you can use your souls willy-nilly here, and this is actually a good time to double up and get just as much damage knocked out as you can. So we do finish Executioner Karakanis off here, and this will allow you to teleport right in behind him from here on out. Now you do have 46 morale, so we are going to go back through and we are going to hit up as many of the mini bosses as we can now that we finished off the boss. Okay, so the end there was a little on the messy side, mostly because I was just trying to auto through this, but if you were not autoing and paying attention, you probably wouldn't have ran into that many issues. Now, this was actually all of the mini bosses on this side, so you will want to make sure that you are hitting all of those as you come back through from the point over here. It will be actually a lot less morale because you'll just come straight through the boss, come down, up, across the two, and then you are good to go. But that is the second boss in here, free to play, with just these 3-star units. Now, I do need to pay a bit more attention next time around, but we will be back. Next boss I do believe we will be taking down will be Vera, and then Council, and then we will finish up with the Queen. We will be trying to make sure that all of these are economical and as free to play as humanly possible. But if you guys do like this content, as always, if you're not subscribed, think about subscribing. I would appreciate it. If you do, hit the bell notification so that YouTube lets you know when these are up. Also, it does help me beat the YouTube algorithm by commenting down below with what you would like to see next in the Training Grounds series, as well as sharing this out to various platforms for people who may be complaining about how the game is pay to win or how you can't beat these raids with reasonable setups. But anyways, guys, that's it for me. I'll catch you guys on the next Training Grounds. Take it easy, homies. Peace.
Cracky.